From fighters showing up to their matches wearing questionable clothing, to them accidentally flashing us in the middle of a heated tackle, here are some of the most shocking wardrobe malfunctions in UFC history. Starting off with one we weren't really expecting, the match where we all caught a glimpse of Alexis Davis's thong. Alexis Davis, a rising star in the bantamweight division for women, fought Shayna Baszler on the Invicta 4 fight card in January of 2013. She choked out Baszler early in the first round, making her one of the best bantamweights in the world. This was honestly the best fight of the night, and it also became pretty meaningful for her because her performance also got her a spot in the UFC. Sadly though, there's another reason why many people remember this match, and it's the fact that Alexis wore a black thong instead of the usual compression shorts. As soon as the fight started, Alexis started tackling her opponent, and in the middle of her dominating the fight, her pants slid a little and everyone could see her thong. I honestly don't know how a thong could be comfortable during a fight. But hey, to each their own, right? Another point in one of these matches when I was super confused was when Valerie Letourneau was under attack. At UFC Fight Night 79, Letourneau and Joanne Calderwood had a great fight, but with a pretty strange ending. Letourneau turned around and ran away as Calderwood ran towards her and hit her with a knee to the butt and a punch to the face. Commentators kept talking about how Letourneau might have been stunned by a punch to the breast. And after this match started becoming more popular, a few pranksters on the internet wondered if Calderwood's kick might have broken a breast implant. Letourneau obviously didn't like all the talking either because she soon fired back. On Facebook, she wrote about how her daughter told her what the commentators were saying during the fight, and she felt super insulted. She also admitted that during the fight, her only problem was that her bra slid right under her breasts. Because of this, she felt embarrassed and looked at the referee. At that point, she didn't know what JoJo said to her, but she just had to keep fighting. She also realized that maybe she was being made fun of because she kept saying she was getting hit in the chest. But she didn't think she had anything to prove about how many hits she could take without getting upset. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say, people in this sport really do take out their worst sides on women. During fights like these, it's kinda difficult to stop a match in the middle of a heated fight. But at least this situation was a bit different when Angela Magana's Reebok sports bra ended up giving her the same problem. UFC's Magana lost via TKO to Amanda Cooper at UFC 218. During the match, Magana was on her back with Cooper's full guard on her. But Magana quickly found herself in a different situation when the fighter had a bad wardrobe malfunction. Her Reebok sports bra was pulled down on one side, letting the over-the-head camera see the fighter pretty clearly. Magana needed time to fix her sports bra, so the fight was stopped. Okay, thank God they at least stopped the fight this time. Then, we have some cases where the fighters themselves chose to wear questionable clothes. I'm looking at your banana hammock, Dennis Hallman. Now, Hallman decided to wear a pair of fight trunks at UFC 133 that hadn't been seen since the beginning of the UFC, and he did so for a good reason. Now, fighting in a pair of skimpy trunks can lead to some pretty bad wardrobe malfunctions, which unfortunately happened during the fight. Let's just say that balls could be seen and leave it at that. Dana White was furious about what happened and called it disgusting. He almost fired Hallman and said that such trunks could never be worn inside the octagon again. I think the UFC should also hold somewhat of the same ban on a very specific company whose clothes kept messing up these matches. Take the Elizabeth Phillips versus Jessamyn Duke fight, for example. At UFC on Fox 16 in July of 2015, Elizabeth Phillips fought Jessamyn Duke during the Fight Pass portion of the event. During the fight, Phillips had not only the first, but also the second full wardrobe malfunction in UFC history. And it happened both in the first and third rounds, when Phillips was on her back. And you know what she was wearing? A Reebok bra. I think somebody's gotta talk to the company about this reoccurring problem, man. Still, even though there were other things going on, Phillips won by a unanimous vote. I don't know, maybe the wardrobe malfunction might have been a lucky charm. Thankfully though, Reebok got the majority of criticism for what happened. Can't say the same for Leslie Smith though. because her match with Raquel Pennington was the mother of all wardrobe mistakes. At Invicta Fighting Championship 4, Leslie Smith fought Raquel Pennington. This was a match where we saw many other people too, like Carla Esparza, Beck Rawlings, and Alexis Davis. But Smith was seen more than anyone had planned. After the match, a lot of people mentioned they knew that the top that she was wearing could mean a possible malfunction. And that's exactly what happened. In the middle of the fight, Bas Rutten, a UFC Hall of Famer and commentator, said, "Oops, something's showing." He was sitting next to the cage, facing the action, and politely turned his head away. Julie Kedzie, who is also a commentator and a matchmaker, was also shocked. Later she said, "For those of you at home, this is a business event, and the way you dress is very important." She's kinda right though, because the top Smith was wearing was incredibly thin. Like there was literally no way nothing could go wrong in case of a really aggressive fight. There have also been matches where fighters had successfully avoided a malfunction even though it was so close to going really wrong. Like the almost moment for Ronda Rousey. Now, she had her own coming out party at UFC 157 when she fought Liz Carmouche for the first time. Ronda had to wear a new sports bra for the first time, but she didn't have time to try it on first. Because of this, there were many times during the fight when Ronda's top almost came down. Like literally, we could all see her struggling so badly. She came especially close to a proper flash when Carmouche was clamped on her back and her top was being stretched. Rousey had to adjust her top a few times during the fight, but that didn't stop her from winning with an armbar in the first round, which made her a star. Rousey told Ariel Helwani on the UFC 157 post-fight show that the whole time she was actually thinking about her bra. She said she kept thinking, "I didn't order this one." So they gave her a weigh-in bra for the fight. And if we look back, we can see that at one point she was adjusting herself while she was on her back. Wow, that's a whole new level of multitasking, girl. Then comes an instance where I wish the fighter could have covered herself but didn't. And that's when Tim Sylvia really needed a bathroom break. Sylvia had shorts that didn't fit right during his fight at UFC Fight Night 3. The former heavyweight champion's shorts fell down, but he was wearing compression shorts underneath, so that's a relief, right? Nope, not really. Instead, the brown stain on his compression shorts gave Spike TV viewers something to look at. Again, it didn't just stop there, because the stain got worse over time. Yikes. And that, folks, is all for the shocking wardrobe malfunctions in UFC history.